Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series, episode number 50. And so in this episode, I'm going to continue working on the new pumping station for the Career Build Series here. And so generally what, my understanding of how they'll do oil is they'll have a drilling platform and then they'll put on a pump jack or something to just continue pumping. And so last episode worked on some design showing the different mechanical advantages of having different systems. And so in this, we're actually going to put that together. So what I'm going to do here. So here we are. I have the basis essentially of our new platform. And so as you can see, we have a super duper fast pump jack here going. Made a couple more changes. I put the large pivots on there. Large velocity pivots, as you can see, they tend to just operate better. They have less slack in them. And so as you can see, we're getting a good pump speed here. So let's continue working on this. It's pretty much just ported in from what I made in the last video. And so that's up and running. And so I just want to do a couple things here to kind of make this look a little bit more permanent. So I think we'll go like this to just make that look like it's attached. Looks like it's structurally attached there. So now we have this pump jack section, and that will work out well. Let's do a little bit of paint right here. Let's go bucket, bucket, bucket. And so this should help to get that going. All right, so we have the actual pumping apparatus going here. And so for right now, let's just delete that and that. Let's go ahead and I don't like these dots. I really wish they would do something with these dots, and all they really need to do is make it so we can color the dots with the additive. If they would do that, that would be great. I would really like that. That way we can get rid of those dots for the weight blocks if we want. And if you want them, you can keep them. But it's something simple, and I hope in one of these minor updates they will do that. That would be kind of cool. I would appreciate that from them. Let's go ahead and keep painting this up here. All right, and then linkages can all be my pat yellow here. All right, and so this just I find this functions better here using these large pivots. I don't like that they're so huge, but they're not as bendy. The other ones don't seem to have much backbone and they're bendy. This is not bendy, so that's good. So that is working and pumping for us and pumping at great speed, which is what I want. I want to be able to get this up to a good speed. All right, so that is the base of the platform. So we need to put in or multiple oil tanks. I'm thinking, like, if we look at the actual world here, I could extend this out and kind of trespass into the walk space a little bit. I might do that. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's do that. So we'll cut right here, and I'll extend this out, and that way we can build kind of one contiguous big oil tank. There have been some really great, very cool, aesthetically pleasing platforms on the workshop lately. I'm not really all that concerned about making this super duper cool looking. There are other things I would rather work on, you know. So that's good there. Let's go ahead and we'll bucket this out. All right, where are you at there? Okay, so that's covered anyway. So that gives us a nice big space here. Do a quick measure. So essentially from here to there, what are we looking at there? 29. Okay. So what would that be? 15. Right there is the center, right there. And let's say we want a little bit of walk space, so we'll go there. What are you now? 9. 9. Okay, so that's going to give us that. And then, where are you there, guy? Oh, what's the length of this now? This is now 19. So it'll be 7. Where are you at? 7. 7. No. What is this? How long is this? What is that? 19. Oh, okay, sorry. 10. 10 would be the number there. No wonder I screwed that up. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll go. What's that? Should be 9. Okay. And so we're just going to make a tower here. Or, I'm sorry, a tank. So there's going to be a tank here. All right, so I can get rid of my measuring blocks here. Have the corners of my tank here. Now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nope, I screwed that up. How did I screw that up? 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's do 4, 5, 4, 5. 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, that will be better, I think. All right, and so this will be our main oil storage tank. So this sucker's going to be huge. It's just for storing oil, and so pretty simple there. All right, and so we'll make this a nice, just a tall tower to store as much oil as we can so that it's super duper easy to store oil. And I don't know why I just did that. I need to put in a block here. Okay, good. All right, so this is going to be a massive storage tank. So the whole point of this is pump the oil, store the oil, and I will put in a fractioning system. I'll rebuild the fraction tower. I think that will just be better. And so this will still store and refine the oil. Where's my center here? I took it. 11, 6 right there. Okay. All right. So we have the basis of this tank kind of built. Let's do the top of it. Does not have to be a looker. I really don't care. You know, I get sometimes it's cool to make it look really cool, and some people have, but I'm just not my biggest priority. You know, I like making vehicles look cooler. You know, I certainly appreciate when people make really cool buildings, but it's just not a priority to me at the moment. All right, so that is now our very large oil storage tank there. So the oil is going to pump out of here and pump into here. And so I just need to set that up. Theoretically, I could put this the other direction. I think that's what I will actually do here. Let's see. So I want to do this because we're going to need the table. So we do 2. I did 2. Okay. Maybe make it wide enough to get everything. All right, let's cut this. And let's make sure this needs to stay aligned. So we'll have to do a test to make sure this aligns properly, but it should. And the reason I flipped it was the port here is right here for the oil to come out right there. Fluid out goes right there. And that port will go right into the tank here. I'll put a filter on there, make sure it's set to liquid. And then where are you at here, guy? Right there. Okay. There's fluid port right there. That goes on the inside here. All right. So that's going to put the oil in this large tank here. And so that's our storage for oil there. And so that should hopefully pump pretty quickly into that storage tank. And so again, the whole point of this is just to pump super fast and fill this tank up. So we're going to need a meter. All right, meters in there. All right, and so that's just storage there. And then I want to put in some fractioning elements. And I need to put some more storage tanks. So let's go ahead and I'm going to, so what's the price on this? So this is only 14,000 compared to the 46,000 that I was paying for the other rig to sit there. So especially in a career game, it's going to be important for me to have a little bit of extra cash on hand. Because, you know, I had to take the loan because a big part of it was with that oil rig sitting there. That is money sitting in the world, and I'm spending the money on a lot of things that I wasn't using. Like, once the pipes are in, I don't need to be paying for those pipes anymore. And so this allows me to despawn that, get that money back, and then still, you know, actually move on to the pumping phase. All right, and that's covered. All right, so I've expanded this platform here, so I need to put in a fractioning system, and then I want storage. So let's see, fractioning. Let's do fraction right here. All right, and so I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. So one thing I noted was so I want to get up to that height as quickly as possible, the height of what I need to fraction this off. So by doing a one block, that was actually, let me see. I could go smaller. Let's go smaller. Let's do this. Let's go. How small can I get this? Could do a 3. That's a little weird, but yeah, see, the pipe won't show. I'm just trying to make a cylinder for putting this oil in there. Let's just do 3 blocks. It's going to be pretty small as it is. Okay, so this is going to go up like so. And I want this capacity to be as small as possible. So what I could even do is do this. This is what I'll do. I'll go like that. That will give me even half a block of capacity there. So let's do that. So what's that? That is now, we need at least 24. So that makes that 25. Oh, come on. I have 2 fractions. I had something going on over here with symmetry. I don't want symmetry on this side. All right, so at 25 blocks, diesel will start to be made. So that's just going to tell me when that will... Oh, come on, man. Give me the block I thought I clicked on. Don't do what I clicked on. Do what I want to have clicked on. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to rebuild the fractioning tower here. And so the base of the fractioning tower is going to be thin here, and that's going to put a smaller quantity of oil, which will be much quicker and easier to heat. I tested this, and this is much quicker and easier to heat this time. I didn't really go into it in detail, so let's actually do this. Let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of you like so. And I will go like so. All right, and so as you can see, the channel of oil is for the fractioning tower, we need to get up to 25 blocks to start fractioning off diesel. And so what this is going to allow me to do is, by having this be thinner, I'm going to get there. I'm not going to have to heat as much oil, but I'm still going to get to that height. So it's a little bit of a trick to make it quicker and easier for me to heat it. All right, so let's go. So we want to get a distillation port, and so we need to go at least 20. I know 7 to 25 for diesel, and then it's actually 25 and above for jet fuel. So we can actually make it a little bit lower here. Where's the port go out? Okay, then on the top. So let's line this up, and I can actually cut this down a little bit. So it's 7 blocks. I was saying this looks awfully tall. So right about, let's just do there to make sure we don't screw it up. And then let's count 7 right there. So anywhere beyond that. So like that. All right, so that will be this here will be diesel. All right. All right, so good. Let's delete this. All right, and then so I'll start building my port outside of here. And you'll see how I'm building this once I kind of get moving here, but where are we at here? What's the height? There's definitely over 7 there. That's 11. Okay, good. So we're good. So this will be our diesel port. This will be our jet port here. So jet fuel there. All right, and I'm going to go just drag that down. We'll do 1 off the top like so. And this is looking silly to me, so don't need it to be. But we'll go like that. And so by getting the capacity that actually sits in this fractioning tower down, we're having to heat less. And so you think about it, it's easier to boil a small pot of water more quickly than it is to boil a large pot of water. And that's all this really is me trying to get this up and cooking faster. All right. And so that goes to here. Do I need to do all that? Probably not. Let's go like that. All right. Now you'll kind of see what I'm doing here once I get this built up. You know, of course, this doesn't work like it would in real life. In real life, you'd want to fill that tank all the way up, and you'd want to, that's how you'd be fractioning it. But because you need space for all the heavier elements to essentially go down. But of course, we gamify this some, so we have to play within the constraints of the game. And if we want to exploit it a little bit, which is what we're going to do here to get faster cooking times, because I don't want to have to put a ton of heating elements, so this will allow me to use fewer or smaller number of heating elements, fewer heating elements to get this up to temp, and that's kind of what I'm looking to do. So, all right, and then I need to fix channel for the oil to go past the diesel fill here, so I will choose one of them here in a second. All right, so there we go, and then I need to get around this port here to get into the next port, so I need to cut down. So right here, and then where are we? So that's fine. So I need to get around this port here. So there. So probably to there, and then I'm just going to put an angled wedge in here, and that will allow some of the liquid to get around it in order to be able to fraction off of the up to the jet section. All right, so good. That is now our new fractional distillation tower. And then this here is the actual pipe. All right, that goes there like so. All right, so this should hopefully heat up a lot quicker by having it like this. All right, so that top is where jet fuel is going to come off of. And then I want to go like so. And this can go, that can go, and that can go. And then we'll just drag that pyramid across like, come on, drag, sucker. Drag that. Drag that. Okay, and then one more here. All right, so the oil will fill in, and then it will use this to count up enough blocks. And then, so the oil will fill in here. As you can see, that's a very small volume. The oil will be able to sneak past here, up past this distillation port, and then it'll be able to go up this channel here into the next one. And so we're actually going to drag a half wedge or a wedge here, one by one wedge. Oh, come on, man, where am I? Don't even know where I am in here. And this is going to get dragged down to the top of the diesel port like that, just again to cut the capacity. The lower the capacity I can put in there, the faster I will be able to heat this sucker up, and the faster I'll be able to convert, and a lot less wasted time, because currently it's taking me a ton of time to get that done, so don't really want to expend that much time to do it. All right, and so we'll put up, okay, get out of there, pipe. Nobody clicked on you. There we go. This will go there. Okay, so now we have our diesel output right there. So this is where our diesel is going to come out, and then jet fuel will come out of the top. I need to put some oil in here. So what we'll do is I will go ahead and take a fluid port right here. That goes there. And then let's do this really quick instead. Let's go cut you here. All right, we'll grab another fluid port there. All right, we'll do a filter. We do liquids only. We'll do a pipe. All right, so the oil is going to be pumped from this tank, the storage tank, into here. I want to put a preheating system in here, so we'll go ahead and we'll hook up a preheater. So the preheater essentially comes out, and it's going to go through. We'll use electric furnaces for everything. I kind of fought this idea for RP reasons last time, but I think I'm going to kind of just embrace it. We got free electricity. I can RP it away all I want, but it's just for ease. The other thing is the noise. As much as I don't like the noise of this electric jobby, I really don't like the noise of the diesel jobby. So, okay, so that's fine there. And then this will actually come up. There we go. So this is a preheater. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the very cold oil that we have from this diesel storage tank, and it's going to take that cold oil and it will preheat it. It will get it close to the it'll get it close to the temperature that it needs to be. It will help get it up to 300 degrees Celsius so that we can start fractioning, because we need 300 to be able to start fraction. All right, so I'll come in here, and then it will go out here. I need a pump. Let's see, that's fine. All right, let's do a pump. All right, pump there, and then this will now, ooh, that's not the best thing to do there. All right, let's do this. Let's make sure that I don't have an in and out side. I don't think okay, coolant out's right there. Coolant in is right here. Let's go over like so. 1, 2, 3. We need like 4 spaces. That can go like that. Okay, good. So this is our preheater here. So the preheater will go, as you can see, that's coolant in. We want to make sure we do that correctly. Merge to there. We need a space on that like so. All right, that's deleted. That's coolant out. So now the hot oil is coming in preheated. And then all right, so now this will go in there and it will flood that with oil. Nice, nice, nice. And these just are for support legs, just to support it. So it's sitting there. So this is our preheater. So the cold oil comes through here through the preheater and goes in there. Now I need a cycling system. The cycling system is going to do most of the heating. And so I need a cycler. And so I don't know what's going to be most efficient for this, so I'm going to just kind of make something up and I can test it. All right, and let's see, we'll stick that there. Trying to think if I want to put this up higher. Don't think it matters all too much, but I'm going to try it with it being up higher. Let's try it here. Let's actually go here. And I'll kind of support this between the two of them. Like so. We'll put some, for now I'll do that. We'll put a bunch of supports. All right, so the cycler will go in here. All right. And so the cycler is going to cycle through the main body of this tank. All right. Come on. Go on the pipe, you ding-dong. There we go. All right, so that's there. And so I need to check all of this to make sure this is going to line up properly. That's why I'm dragging these pipes out, because I have to cut on the wall and check them. So that's cut, cut. It's going to be cut, cut. And that is, that will go on the channel. That should work fine. That should work fine. Nope, that won't work. What's that? Why was that blocked out there? Okay. All right, so that's going to go up there. That should theoretically work fine. All right, so take a fluid port. Right there, and then how are you looking here? So that can't go this way, but it can go in the end of the pipe. All right, there we go. And then it's better for flow rates just to have 2 pumps. And then hopefully I don't need filters on these. That's going to be the only issue, is if these demand filters, we're going to be in trouble. So that will pump into this heating element and out, and that's going to cycle it. So this is going to preheat the oil, get it from the cold temperature of in here up a little bit, and then it's going to go up into the fractionating tower. It's going to fill that with say lukewarm oil. Then this is going to cycle. It's going to go through here and further heat the oil. Hopefully I can get the volume down enough that it will work fine. All right, next I need a temperature probe. All right, temperature probe. And that's going to go just somewhere in here because I have to test out the oil. and see what the temp is. Okay, so that's that. So I have fraction tower preheater. We have that, and then I need a couple storage tanks for diesel and for jet. Now, do I make them as big? I don't think I do. I think I want them a little bit smaller. I think I want them smaller. Okay, so let's start building those. What is the width of this? That is 11. So let's make a couple 9s, see what that looks like. 9. What is this? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it 3s. And so this is going to just allow us to store more, and that way I don't have to deal with it as often. Because currently I'm having to use the truck to move stuff early because I don't have enough storage. So this will kind of fix my storage problem here. Oh, don't flick the camera around all day there, guy. All right, and so that's going to be this is going to be, say, the diesel tank or the jet fuel tank. One or the other. And so if these are somewhat like 50% of this, I should be able to fraction one whole tank of this into equal parts jet fuel, diesel, and then have a backup reserve of one full tank of oil. So I can go AFK, let this sucker run for a considerable amount of time, and then come back and I can move giant tanks of diesel and jet fuel. And then, because, part of this process, people thought, it was going to be, oh, it's going to be OP, it's super meta, you're just going to be able to print money. There's still a lot of logistics, and I'm glad they did it that way because, you still have to get there. And with surge pricing, you can't dump 400,000 liters of a product in the market and flood the market. It will, lose value. You're flooding the market like you would in real life, and it's not going to be able to recuperate that quickly. Where's the center block? Is right here, I think. Okay. And so it takes a little bit of time to recover. And so I'm glad they did it that way. Because you can't just flood the market with oil and make infinite amounts of money. You need some recovery time to recover from surge pricing. So I'm going to check capacities here in a second, and what I can do is just drag the roof down. All right. Oh, come on, man. Oh, why? Put my fingers in the wrong part of the keyboard, and I flip things in funny directions. There we go. All right, and so let's grab... All right. And so these will be the storage tanks. So you notice these are much, much larger. I think I could hold like, oh, I don't know, 6,000 liters of diesel jet. This is going to be pumping oil like crazy. And so that's going to allow me to not have to go AFK forever and wait on the pumping oil. I was having issues where I could only hold 16,000 liters, and so that means the most I could really fraction with that being AFK would be, essentially half of that of each. So let's quickly put a meter in here. I want to get these somewhere in the vicinity of 50% of the large tank because that way we can get an even split. And so I kind of want to see what that looks like. But you see, this is just all about storage here. So this is the large oil tank. That is 222,000 liters of crude. So as long as these are, about 111 will be good. So that's 109, pretty damn close. So these hold just under half of what that big tank holds. So that's beautiful. And so that will get us up and running. And so what I need to do now is this. That everything? Do we have it all? No, I do not. I have about 50% of it. Okay. So that is going to be, say, the diesel tank. We copy this, and this here is the jet fuel tank. All right, and so those are our two tanks there that will take finalized fraction product out. And so I need to start piping that. All right, and so we'll go like this. Filters for good measure. Sometimes these have not been behaving if you don't put a filter in them. So try to stick filters in as much things as I can. All right, good. And so this will be jet, will be on that side. One more cut there. All right, I might have to put filters on this later, but we'll see. Worst case, when I hook my truck up, I'll be able to, when I hook my truck up, what I'll be able to do is just take the oil away and sell it, or put it or transfer it to the truck and then relaunch and fix the storage build. So I don't think it'll be too big of a deal if that happens to happen. These just I put those in so they look like pipe guides, to hold the pipe, because you wouldn't want the pipe just floating. So you do it like this. It looks like pipe guides to hold the pipe, or I forget what they're called. They're not pipe guides. They're pipe holders, um, supports. You'd have those, so the pipe, they're like rings, and then they bolt to a wall so that the pipe is not just hanging, because the pipes are actually pretty heavy. All right, and then so diesel's here. And so I kind of like having pipes go in different directions. It's kind of interesting to me. All right, and then I'm going to put a pipe guide, try to find the right level. There we go. All right, and this is going to be diesel. So that front one is jet fuel. This one here is going to be diesel. Right, like so. All right. All right, so that's not as contoured as I would like, so I might contour this a little bit, I think. So contour this because you wouldn't want a pipe hanging out that much. You can look on some of like the factories that have tons of pipes going everywhere, and they'll have all sorts of guides, and they'll have like these, it looks like scaffolding holding the pipes because they require a lot of support because they are heavy. Put a pipe support there. All right. All right, so that now goes from the diesel port to another tank for diesel. So we have oiled diesel, and jet. They're all plumbed as far as this is concerned. Next thing I want to do here is I'm going to start getting these ready. I need ports and pumps. I think what I'm going to do here is, so currently I have to hook to the different ones. I have a staircase right here, so what I think I'm going to do is, currently the truck actually pumps itself, so all I really need is ports. So I'll cut there, and I will put a outflow pump like that. And then I'll cut here. And this will be for actually pumping it to my truck. Actually, you know what I want to do? My truck is low, right? There's no point in me... see, I can't do it there. Let's do this. Make sure that's all sealed up again. Okay. So what I can do is come out from under here and have them go underneath. That will actually, I think, be a good idea. All right. So right there, I don't need it right there. Let's go you, and then let's fill these back in. All right. And so these tanks are only ever going to get emptied. We're not like storing off-site stuff here, and so gravity is going to help us to get these done. And so my truck will go to this location. Oh, I can't put it down here, can I? It's not going to let me go down there. All right, that's fine. Not the end of the world. All right. All right, it's going backwards too far here. Let me... All right, so I have to rebuild this. So they're going to be here. I can't go too far from there. All right, let's go back to the way I had them here because it's giving me a red indicator that I can't put that there, so I can't do it. And so I have to go up the staircase anyway to get to where I can put these in, so I'll go ahead and put them here like so. And I also want the ability to pump out oil. In the event that I just want to sell oil, I can do that. All right, and then oil will come along here as well. And I'll put some more of those pipe supports on the ground here. They also will do these cool, they're just like walkovers. They'll do that for like cables and everything else as well, so you can step over them or drive something over them without breaking them. And I'm just making this so it's about the character's height so that, you know, it's just convenient to plug. All right, these will be color coded. Diesel is a yellow color. Jet fuel is blue. Kerosene is blue, which jet fuel is essentially kerosene. And then black is oil. All right, and so that will be there, and that will attach up to that, and so we can easily pump the oil that I need to. And so we'll be able to walk up the staircase and easily hook up to this, and then hook up to my truck for transpo. All right. And I'll do some aesthetic painting, but I want to get this tested, make sure everything's running correctly, see if I need more filters. It's been very dependent upon filters. You'll get airlocked and then you'll have problems. So, but pretty simple, pump in there, get that going. Let's start working on this. So battery. So let's go ahead and let's finish our plumbing first. I don't like to go to something else until I'm done with this because I don't want to screw it up. So the fluid port goes there. Fluid port goes here. And fluid port goes here. Might probably do some boost pumps on there at some point, but there, those are plumbed. This here is this plumbed yet? Yep, right here is plumbed. So this is gonna. Why is this all not painted? Let's paint this up here. Okay, so this is going to pump into the main tank, go through the fractioning tower, fraction into diesel jet. Then we're good there. So I need some control panels here. So let's just do. I might actually make a control house at some point, but for right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do pretty simplified stuff just because I want to get this up and running. So pretty much if I'm turning on my preheater, which is this, I want to also turn on the pump for the preheater. If I'm turning on my cycler, which is a cycle heater, I'm going to turn on the cycle heater and the pumps, so that's all connected. Over here, I need to just pretty much, I think I will do a throttle, just to give it a little bit of interest as I manually can control the speed of this bad John here. All right, let's go ahead and hook up electricity. So I'm just going to do a battery for now because this has infinite electricity as long as there's a battery on the rig. This one's the only one that needs to be connected. The other two do not. Connect, connect, connect. And we'll get these all done up. So pretty simple. I'll have to check the cost on this. 33. So it's reasonably expensive, but it's still 15 grand cheaper than having the whole rig, and we have things that we don't need, which all these things can cause lag. Hopefully this doesn't cause much lag. Let's spawn this up. All right, let's, I didn't hook anything up, so that's not going to run, of course. This one will run, I believe. I think I hooked this one up. So as you can see, so that pumps uber fast compared to the old one. And so pretty simple that. Did I hook these up? I did. So this will turn on the preheater. As you can see, temperature is true. Pump should be true. Pump is true. Pumping nothing because there's nothing there. We have a filter on there, so it should only allow liquid through. Toggle this button on. Might need filters on these, I'm thinking, actually. We probably do. So as you can see, that will be the cycle pump. So this is all set to go, I think. So let's save this. All right, so I had to start a new world because of lag. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load up the old save that already has the rod in the hole, and then I'm going to put this on top, and we'll do a quick pump and refine test. All right, so we are here. This is the laggy world that I had to start a new save for. Let me just double check. Yep, in 20 frames, so I don't know what's doing, but so a lot of this stuff is going away, hopefully to help with that. But see, we have we're currently pumping now. Wow, the slowdown is so much. This is why I started a new world, but as you can see, we have oil in the tank. It's pumping. We have a rod here. The difference is with this rig, I need to make sure this drills all the way down, so I actually have to activate drilling again, which isn't a big deal. So currently, if you can't hear it over the annoying sound of the electric heaters, starting up the engine. So this is going to drill down. As you can see, we're in massive slowdown, but what I'm going to do is drill this down until I can't go down anymore. The new storage/refinery building is set up to work with that and account for that. So if it's at the correct height, it will work out well for us. So let's go ahead and I will check back in with you guys when this rod is all the way down, and that way it will snap up to the new setup, hopefully. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I had to start the world over again, so I need to re-drill this hole. So I'm just going to load up the old rig, and I'll time-lapse it out, and I will drill this hole back. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I have drilled in an extra pipe, and the whole purpose of that is to make sure it's flush mounted. And as you can see, we are getting oil, so we are deep enough to have oil. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. And as you can see, this is all the way down as far as we can go. You can see that the track is all the way down, and that's how that new pump rig is set up, is to operate with that. So we've disconnected everything. Let's go ahead and grab the pumping rig. And I'll bring that up. Pump jack rig is in. Let's spawn it. All right. So now we need to connect this. And so all I need to do is click the toggle button that's connected. Let's test it. And as you can see, we are pumping. So let's go ahead and check the capacities on this side now. So as you can see there, we are pumping oil. Now, this probably has a max capacity, and we're probably exceeding it, as you can see. Let's go down to... So right now, what's it showing us? It's like showing us like 23. It's capping out. Let's go down to like 0.5 on speed here. So there's probably a max speed anyways that we can pump this, so... So what I should probably do is put a delta on there and see, but let's just run this at full speed, might as well. And as you can see, this is now running full speed, pumping us considerable amount of oil in here. Let's start fractioning. Oh, crap. Okay. I already screwed this up. That's fine. One of the benefits of this system now is this is set. Let's go ahead and shut it off. And let's do a couple things. We have 800 liters of oil in there. It's not a big deal. Let's disconnect this. I need to make a couple edits on here. All right, so my couple edits are going to be this. Let's go ahead and I want to put on... let's see, how do we do this? I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Let me not worry about that. So one thing I forgot to do is I need to put a pump right here by these. That needs to go there. And I'll probably double pump these. These are quite a long run, so let's go ahead and do a pump here and a pump there and a pump everywhere. Let's go one here. Come on, change color. Let's go a pump there. Let's go a pump here. All right, I'm actually gonna, in order to keep the flow rates pretty good, I'm gonna go like this. We'll put one there. This one here, I want to make sure I put a filter on this one just to make sure it doesn't get airlocked, and then we'll put another pump there. Because I have to test how quickly this fractions as well. So let's go ahead and make sure that is set to no gases. Let's check this here. That's good. That one's good. Okay, let's just check them. All right, so I need to put these pumps on here so I can select if I want to fraction diesel or jet. And so let's go, what is this one going to? That's the cycle. And that's going to do diesel and jet. So this one is diesel. This one's jet. And so this will take off diesel and jet, because we could turn all the oil into jet fuel or all the oil into diesel if we wanted to. So let's go ahead. And that's all about pumping it off. So we need to hook that up to the pumps. So this will be... I didn't hook the second pump up, did I? I didn't. Okay, so that needs to go here for jet. All right, so that's hooked up. Let's go ahead, and this one here is going to be jet's the bottom, I believe. Yep. This one's diesel. I have to hook both of them up, but I didn't do it yet. That one's there, and then this one here is jet, so that will be right up there and there. Let's do electricity. Electricity's there, and there, and there, and there. All right, so now that should allow me to select it. Trying to think. The best way to do this. I don't really care to read out how fast we're pumping. We're pumping pretty fast. So let's try this. Let's save this. And again, the nice thing is I should be able to quickly drop this back on the wellhead, make edits, and not lose my pipe. Let's go ahead and select it. All right, let's go ahead and pump. And you can see we're pumping oil quite fast. All right, and let's start preheating. So this should turn this on. This should pump. Okay, we've already had issues already. That's fine. And temp is the issue. So let's go ahead, and I'm missing things, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and get a dial. All right, and let's do a light. Let's go ahead again, I'll make a control room for all this, but for now, this is what this is going to be. So this will go to oil temp. Let's go 0 to, let's do just 350. All right, so hook these two up. This is going to be right here. I have this temperature probe. I need to know my temperature. Do a quick micro. Stick it in here for now. And what we'll do here is it'll have a number input and a on-off output. If the number is greater than 300, that will just turn on a light telling us that we're hot enough to fraction. All right. So you can see how very quickly I can make edits to this. You know, we lose oil every time I have to edit it, but theoretically what I could do is hook the truck up, so I could have the truck here and I could pump all that oil into the truck, and then I could pump it back in if I needed to. So that's going. Let's go ahead and start turning on. So we're starting temp was like 22. So oil temp is coming up here. Theoretically it's going down, but that's because we're pumping cold oil in there. But let's see how we're going here. So you see that temperature is going up there. And I really didn't check capacity either. This should have capacity in it, so let's do that. Again, I want to figure all this stuff out before I pump too much oil. So, like, I could even go back to the save and not have to worry about this. Well, let's go ahead and... So it doesn't really matter. It can go anywhere in this tank. Let's go right here. It's fine. Let's do a meter. All right, meter right here. All right, and then this is going to read the capacity of this. And so we'll just connect that to the fluid level. All right, let's go ahead and run it. And this will tell me what my capacity is going to be on that. And this will also tell me if I need filters in there, because if this is not pumping, which it is, so that is going to heat up, but it will take a little bit for this furnace to warm up. And so that should start raising the temperature, but, you know, the first bit of oil that's going to pump through there is going to be cold because this furnace hasn't heated up yet. And so as you can see, we're at 20 degrees, and it's rising because this is preheating. Now, this here is the cycle. So, where is that? This is going to be the cycle here. So this should be coming on. This electric furnace, as you can see, this pump should be on. It is. And see, we're getting better flow rates because that has two pumps on it. So probably want to fix that at some point. But oil temp is rising quickly. The capacity is, or the current level in there is rising quickly. And look at this. So this system is working well to pump it up. Let me just get a screenshot here. And that should help with So this I think is going to be a more efficient system. The old oil tank that I had on the old rig, that one held 16,000 liters. This one holds greater than 200,000 liters. The old capacity, I think it was something like 2,000 to 6,000 liters for the diesel and jet fuel. These now hold 119 apiece. The barge holds around, I think, 115, 114. So each of these tanks is one whole barge's worth. So this allows me to have essentially 2 trips ready to go, plus a whole oil tank. And you can see we're pumping out as fast as we're pumping in. So currently that's holding 1,200. That has to be getting close. I didn't plug in the light, so I'm not going to worry about the light right now. As long as I have the temperature, I don't need to see it. But as you can see, we're climbing pretty high. I just want to make sure we can get up to 300 degrees. This is going to take a little while to heat because we're still pumping 20-degree oil in there. Once this fills and this fraction tower is full, what's going to happen is this cycle pump here is going to be heating us beyond 300. And so we might need multiple cycle pumps or even in-series electric furnaces to get this input hot enough, but we'll see. So I will check back with you guys once this hopefully reaches 300 degrees. All right, so I almost instantly ran into an issue here. This is no longer pumping. I'm thinking it's airlocked. I have to fix that. As you can see, we are now, this holds 1781. We're losing temperature because currently this is just cooling off the cycle pumps. If we look at this pump here, it's not cycling, so it must be airlocked. So let's go ahead and check this out. All right, so let's fix. So let's go in here, and first thing I want to do is change this dial to 1782. 1782, that's the max capacity. That's fraction in liters. Okay, that's fraction tower in liters. This here is going to be the cycle pump. Cycle heater, okay. And then I need to hook this light up, which I didn't, so that is temperature, and that's going to turn the light on. That's electricity, good. So that will now turn our light on when this gets above 300. So we're not going to get above 300 unless I get a filter on there, and so what I probably need to do is try to think if I want to add another pump here. I think I do. I think that's just going to be better. Doesn't really cost me much, and it tends to make things run much better. So what I think I'm actually going to do is let's undo that. How many blocks that? Yeah, it has to be that way. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this here. So I have the space here. Let's go delete. Oh, come on. I'm finding you have, if you want these things to run properly, you're really going to have to put filters in. It's just kind of the way this operates with the new system is it gets airlocked and it stops working. So I've kind of, I did this last time. I really went to just putting filters on everything. And so put a filter, put a fluid port. I'm going to put them on everything because it just seems to work better. And eventually we'll get airlocked and stuff stops working. So let's shut the gases off on that. Go ahead, hook the electricity here. Let's go ahead and this one will go to that as well. All right, these pumps up here. What I want to do now is, let's see, what are you here? So that will work there as well. So let's go down. What am I thinking here? Let's go down 1 maybe. Okay, so right there. So what I want to do here is, well, can I put this right in there is the question. Nope. Okay, so that's fine. So let's put that right under this one like so. Let's get a filter. Let's make sure we don't get airlocked. On this one, let's go to allow gases off. Let's grab, clear that, grab this one, cut you. All right, that goes like that. All right, let's delete this, make sure it's going in the right way. That is an coolant in, that's correct. See you later there, you go there, okay. And then we'll route back up. So I'm gonna have to put filters on all these. I've had this issue before, and putting filters on seems to just make things work a hell of a lot better. Because it's like it gets air trapped in there, and then the filters won't allow it to move air, and so... Could put purges on there, but I'd rather not put purges on there if I don't have to. So, what do we go there to do? Okay, so this one, just same thing, needs to move up one. All right, what's that? That can go. Yep, that can go. Yep. All right, so this here can be a new fluid port up there. So just moving this one up one. Put a block back in here. And we'll see how this runs. So make sure this one's set to gases off. It is. Let's go ahead and we will copy this. I might put an air purge on here. I don't know if it's worth doing it for everything. What I might test a manual air purge. That would be probably a smart thing to do. So let's do that. Let's put a manual air purge on these things. And so, something I really would rather not have to do, but it seems like I'm going to have to do it, so. All right, let's do this. Let's do fluid port here. And so I'm going to try to do an air purge on here, see if that will work. And so what I'm going to do is put a elbow there. Let's not do an elbow like that. Put it directly on there because I guess liquid should theoretically be able to get in there. So let's go filter like so. Let's click on this. So this one will only be gases. And we will go like this. So that should only allow gases out. Now let's do a valve. All right, let's go like so. And stick a fluid port in this and see if I can manually purge these when they get airbound like that. So test some of these out, see if this works for us. You don't have to be at the logical place where in real life these would have to be. You just have to be anywhere on these and they'll work. So I'm going to try to just cut a bunch of these in here. And hopefully I can purge out any air that may get in the systems, and that way I don't have to keep screwing around with putting in, restarting. Because it seems like they get airlocked and then I have issues, so, all right. All right, so let's go ahead and where are you at there? Fluid ports. All right, so hopefully we should be able to purge all of these by opening that valve, and the air will be pushed out, we hope. Might have to pump them, but we'll test them with that, see if that works. All right, let's make sure all the electricity is still connected. That should be good. Everything should be fine on that. All right, let's go ahead, respawn this. I didn't save it. Let's go ahead and save it first. All right. Because that became airlocked and the cycle pump stopped working. All right, oil's coming in. Preheater's on. Cycle pump is on. Let's open the air valve. So you see some air came out. And so that's why I made this system, is hopefully to be able to purge any air out of these systems. And so as it fills with liquid, hopefully it pushes any air out that it might have in there. Temp is rising. Yep, it is. Okay. Volume is... Why is that not going? Stress. Because that's probably not connected. Okay. I bet I didn't hook the bottom pump up because that's new. Let me check it. Come on, flicky camera. Let's stop doing that, guy. All right, so that is electrically connected. Let's check. Nope, that worries me quite a bit. Okay, what is this now? Why are you not taking it? Allow liquids on, allow gases off. Why do you not want to work now? You scum. Okay. What is going up? You know why? Because I didn't hook this up. So that would be it right there. All right, that's fine. Just a connection error. All right, there we go. Let's hopefully this works. All right. All right, oil coming in. Oil's coming in. Start heating. Let's check, make sure we're getting flow through here. We are. As you can see, it didn't really help the flow, and I think it's because we're pumping faster than we're pump jacking it in there. Temperature is going down, which is fine because I haven't turned the cycle pump on yet. Let's turn that on because I keep adding more cold oil to it. So volume is going up nicely. As you can see, we're already a quarter to a third full there. Let me make sure this is pumping properly. It is 40 liters in, 40 liters out. And then if I have issue, I'll try purging the air, see if that needs to be done. But why is this not heating? It is, I just can't see that it's glowing yellow until I step back. Okay, so that's working. All right, so we need to get this full. It's approaching halfway. And so once this fills up, we'll stop adding cold oil to it, and that will heat up more quickly. Again, that's why the fraction tower, why I made it smaller this time, is just to heat that oil more quickly. So because we have so much air in there, I think the filter was necessary because we're probably starting to pump air in there. And that was screwing the system up here. All right, so we're now starting to gain temperature. So these have both warmed up enough so that they're heating up. Like that's 374. This one's probably, get closer, you can probably see it, 367. So that's starting to warm up. So as you can see, we're starting to gain some temp on that quite quickly, actually. See, it's going up nice and fast. This is approaching 3/4 full. So once that's all the way full, we'll just start depositing more oil in here. And then I have all my purge valves to get any air out of the system that might be in there. And they're manual to give me something to do. But so this is a little bit lighter of a system, but this definitely has a much larger capacity to hold more oil. So I think this will be good for the career save. As you can see how close we are to the tracks. At some point I might want to put a train on there. I might just use the train from the last career build series. I don't feel like making a new train. I'm just really not huge on trains often. All right, so we're close to being full. Temp is still coming up. This is when we had issues last time. Last time when this filled, it stopped cycling. And so I think it was because of air in the system. And so hopefully it pumps still once we get it to full. Okay, so we're at full capacity there. And we're cycling. Okay, good. So that's going to keep our temperature going up because our temperature stalled and stopped. So I'll check back in with you guys when we're greater than 300. All right, so here we are. We're still running strong. This pump here is still going strong. So it got airlocked last time, so the filters are necessary. You know, we're going to get greater than 300 here in a second. We'll get a light. Bingo. Green light means I can start fractioning off diesel or jet fuel, whatever I want to do. I could do an even split. Temp is still going up. So keeping this volume low is helping me not put too much cold oil in here to disrupt this temperature. You see it's still climbing. That's what we want. Let's make sure we're actually getting some diesel. That's Jet A, so that should be not going up. And this is diesel, and diesel now, as you can see, is climbing. So we're starting to fraction off that diesel and filling this tank. So this is all working. I like this new setup. We'll be able to park the truck here, walk up, get oil, jet or diesel, easily put those in. We have a good pump speed here. As you notice, we're starting to accumulate more oil because, you know, this is full and actually fractioning now. I can purge any air out. I don't think I need to, but it's good to have it there anyway. As you can see, that's nice and stable, so we are pulling off, and we're still gaining temp, and we're maintaining a good high temp, which is going to be good for us to be able to fraction. So this is working well. I think this is a good new system. This is really going to allow me to store a lot more oil, a lot more diesel, a lot more jet fuel. And so it's also going to be a lot less resource intensive. You know, we have fewer things going on here, fewer sub bodies. You know, I have multiple sliding linear tracks, and all that stuff wasn't necessary. Now what we have here is we have this fast pump jack that pumps pretty quickly. We have the ability to store huge quantities. And so when I actually feel like going and doing an oil run, part of the issue I had before was if I wanted to make some money off my rig, I pretty much had to launch a truck, go over, move it over, move it over, move it over, grab a barge and a tug, and I had to go sell it. And that's because I could only store 16,000 liters on hand of oil. And I could only store like 6,000 liters of diesel. Now I have the ability to store 222,000 liters of oil. I have the ability to store 120 approximately each of diesel and jet fuel. And this allows me to leave this base pumping, filling, and then once I get, say, you know, one of these tanks full of, you know, diesel or jet fuel or both or whatever, I can then fill my truck, which I forget the capacity of the truck. The truck is somewhere in the neighborhood of just over 100,000 liters. Maybe it's getting close to. So the truck with 2 trailers can hold about 1 tank of either diesel or jet fuel. And so what I can do is then pull off of those tanks and dump it in FJ Warner. And so what this allows me to do is I don't have to invest 10 hours into trying to move all this oil at once because, you know, I might not be feeling it, might decide I want to do part of it. So what I could do is sit with this base running, get myself some oil, some diesel, some jet fuel, leave it. Let it store. Just sit there as storage tanks. I can store huge quantities. I can go AFK for a couple hours, watch a movie, and let it fill completely up with everything. And then what I can do is, when I feel like it, tanker off a full tank of diesel and go stick it in FJ Warner. And then I can fraction off that oil back into diesel, and now my diesel tank's full again. And when I feel like it, I can fill the barge up and I can go sell diesel. And then jet fuel will also be sitting here, and then when I feel like selling jet fuel, I can go sell jet fuel. And so that's really good. And then when I want to do oil, I can move oil, stick it directly in the barge, and sell oil. So I think this is going to be a better system. It's also a lot simpler, as you can see. Don't need as many parts. It's definitely pumping faster now, as you can see. It appears. Who knows if this probably has a max capacity. The pipes probably have a max capacity. But I like the notion that this is moving fast as hell. This is maintaining temperature a lot better than the old fractioning system, so that's great. Yeah, so I think this whole system is going to work better. It's a lot lighter. Before I needed 2 electrics and a diesel to be able to heat. I think it was like 4,200 liters. Then I decreased it down to 2,700. Now we're down to 1,700 liters in here. And that's a much more manageable figure. And we're able to more quickly fraction this off, and we can store a whole hell of a lot more. And so I think this will help us a lot better. Will help us more. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.